All right, so assistant manager Chris McPhee joins me after our 2-2 draw with Saltash. Chris, what are your initial reactions to that one?
I think that, to be fair, I think that both sides would be a little bit disappointed come the end of the game there. I don't think either side wanted to settle for a point, but at the end of the day, the way that we played in the first half, a point after being down a goal twice it showed a little bit of character, but we should be playing a lot better than that in that first half. We spoke at half time about the way that we were a little bit disjointed at times. We were a little bit kind of playing short when we should be playing long and taking too many touches, and we were a little bit clunky. But that sometimes can happen with a new group of players.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen it so far up until this point. But we spoke at half time about getting back to our basics and playing a little bit more the way we did. And I think second half we had a little bit more of a grip on the game. And bar their breakaway goal, I think we had pretty much the whole of the second half. And it's great to see that Tom getting into those areas as well. A big shout out for him. He's shown real understanding of his role, breaking beyond the striker, and he took his 2 goals really well today. So I'm really happy for him. But it's an opportunity for us to really learn from today. To really learn that teams are going to come here at times and sit in, try and hit us on the break. And also, I just said there to the boys that we've just got to be a little bit aware of the long ball, whether it's a clearance, whether it's a team looking to play out for the back and hitting long balls. We were a little bit vulnerable to that and a little bit shaky at times. So areas for us to improve for sure.
I think, like you said, they're good character to come back twice from behind to score 2, but also disappointing to be in that position in the first place. So how do you balance that with what you're telling the players after that game?
The message was clear at half time that we were, like I said a little bit earlier, we were taking too many touches in central areas. We were very, very narrow when we were trying to play out and play through, which killed everyone's space. We couldn't really break through the lines and we couldn't get down the sides. So we spoke about half time about the importance of wingers giving us width and fullbacks arriving in certain areas, which allows our midfield players to pick up those spaces in between and us also going into Deacon. They did sit a little bit deep, so we couldn't always get in behind.
Yeah.
But it goes to show that we've got players that can play a variety of ways. We've got to understand that if we can't go in behind, we're going to have to manoeuvre the players around a little bit by playing with a good tempo. In the first half, we were very, very slow with the ball. Got caught on it too many times, and we're passing the ball and flicking the ball into areas where we don't normally play and giving it away left, right, and centre. The amount of opportunities we gave them in the first half, they could have been out of sight. So, we've got to learn fast. We'll give them the messages. The players know themselves. We've got some experienced heads in the team and some good conversations that were had at half time from those players and after the game as well. So it's not just coming from the coaches, it's coming from the players as well. And we will certainly learn from this and take this into Saturday for sure.
So I mentioned to Tom with the brace today, I think it seemed in the first half wasn't able to really get into the game, but second half really came into his own getting the brace, and a range of goal scorers now with Deacon and obviously Tom getting a few today. So what do you make of his performance?
Well, like I said, in the first half, because of the narrowness of the team, that was killing Tom's space, and he wasn't able to get in those little areas on the half turn and arrive in the box, and we weren't even able to get the ball into those areas in that first half. And just goes to show that giving us a little bit of width, playing 1 or 2 passes, switching playing, and able to penetrate through the middle when Tom's making those runs beyond, he's going to really thrive in those areas. And he took his 2 goals really well. That should give him a lot of confidence, but also should build some relationships and understandings that that's where Tom wants to arrive, and players will be looking for that a little bit more. So yeah, I'm really happy for him. It's great for him to get into those, to get into a habit of scoring goals again and backing Deacon up. We need to share the goals around a little bit and start to get players in those areas to finish things off, because tonight showed that we were able to get into the final third on a regular occasion. Sometimes our ball into the box wasn't perfect. Sometimes we turned down the opportunity to shoot or flash the ball across the box. But they're showing signs of improvement, but also they're showing vulnerabilities that we need to address.
And 4 points from our first 2 home games, and back at home again this Saturday for the visit of Clevedon Town. What are you expecting from that one?
We're expecting the team to come here and be a little bit more expansive than what we've seen in the previous 2 teams. Try and get the ball down and play, and try and invite us out and try and play beyond us. So they'll put the ball out around a little bit. They're an accomplished team and one of the stronger ones, and a team to look out for this season. So it's a completely different test for us, where we might have to be resilient at times. We might have to suffer without the ball, but I think that if we can take second half's performance and how we moved it, how we played with the real tempo, and how we also were able to go in behind the back line, because I think that ball on Saturday, if we mix it up, is going to help us get up the pitch, get some territory, so we can play in their half and hopefully again, with the movement of our midfield players and Deacon's threat, we'll cause them enough problems to try and get something positive out of the game for sure.